today's lecture especially a tribute to all the teachers and also all the students, as today we are celebrating Teachers' Day. So the lecture of today is devoted to all the teachers as well as the students, and the title of my lecture is Guru-Shishya Parampara. So first of all, let us discuss what is Teachers' Day and why do we celebrate Teachers' Day. So Teachers' Day in India is celebrated on September 5th, which is the birth anniversary of Dr. Sarvepalli Radhakrishnan, a prominent philosopher, scholar and a statesman who also served as second President of India. Dr. Radhakrishnan's birthday was chosen for this occasion as a mark of respect for his contributions to education and his belief in the importance of teachers. His commitment to education and his humility serves as an inspiring example for both educators and students. So after being elected as a President of India in 1962, some of his former students, in fact, and friends approached him with the idea of celebrating his birthday as a mark of respect and admiration for his contributions to education and his illustrious career as a philosopher and a statesman. So Dr. Radhakrishnan, known for his humility and dedication to the teaching profession, responded to this gesture with a great humility and wisdom. So instead of agreeing to celebrate or instead of agreeing of the celebration in his honor, he suggested a more meaningful and so-called inclusive idea. He proposed that rather than celebrating his birthday separately, it would be a matter of pride if September 5th were observed as a day to honor and celebrate all teachers. So his reasoning was that teachers play a significant role in shaping the future of the nation and their contributions should be acknowledged. Therefore, he requested that instead of celebrating his birthday on September 5th, this day should be treated and this day should be honored and celebrated as Teachers' Day as a tribute to all the teachers. So Dr. Radhakrishnan said that a good teacher must know how to arouse the interest of the people in the field of education for which he is responsible. He must himself be a master in the field and transmit his mastery to his pupils. He must be like the potter who molds the clay and shapes it into vessels of various forms. So Radhakrishnan said that a characteristic of a teacher must be like someone who arouses interest in the pupils or the students in the field that teacher is teaching. And that becomes the responsibility of the teacher, that he arouses that interest in his students. And in order to do that, the teacher must have mastery in his field and mastery in the subject that he is teaching. And he tries to relate this idea to how a potter, he molds the clay and gives it various shapes and gives shapes like various vessels. So in the same manner, a teacher should also create such kind of students by arousing interest in his students. He also said that the true teachers are those who help us think for ourselves. So this line, the true teachers are those who help us think for ourselves, by Sarvepalli Radhakrishnan, gives a profound perspective on the role of educators in fostering intellectual independence and critical thinking in their students. So, true teachers act as guides or facilitators of learning rather than as authorities who dictate what students should think. And that becomes the primary motive of the teacher, that the teacher should be someone who makes the students think for themselves and of themselves. And that is the primary role. How do they do that? They do it by guiding them and facilitating this learning process, not by dictating the students, but in fact creating that kind of interest and fostering an intellectual independence within the students so that they can think critically, they can analyze the world as well as themselves. And that becomes the primary motive of the teacher. So, the teacher should provide resources, guidance and mentorship, allowing students to explore different perspectives, analyze information, and arrive at their own conclusions. In this way, students develop a sense of ownership over their intellectual growth. So what's happening here? The teacher is providing the necessary requirements to facilitate the learning process, but a student must arrive at the conclusion by his own analytic powers, or you can say through his own critical thinking analysis. So a teacher can act like a mentor, he can guide them, or he can allow the students to explore different perspectives, can ask the students to analyze information. But the conclusion to which the student is going to reach, that he is going to do by his own, through his critical thinking abilities. And in doing that, the student will develop a sense of ownership or autonomy over their intellectual growth. He also said that the best teachers are those who show you where to look but don't tell you what to see. This is quite an important phrase, and the essence of this quote lies in the idea that the most effective teachers do not simply dictate facts or answers to their students. Instead, they act as guides who point students in the right direction, encouraging them to explore, to discover, and think critically for themselves. Rather than providing all the answers, they facilitate the journey of inquiry and self-discovery. Fine, so the role of teacher is just to guide, is to show the path, but the path has to be followed by the student themselves. And following the path themselves, they will be able to follow the journey of inquiry and self-discovery, which definitely be facilitated by the teacher. So the teacher will tell you where to look. That means the teacher is going to show you the path. But what you have to see wouldn't be dictated or wouldn't be told to you by the teacher. So the description says here that the essence of this quote lies in the idea that most effective teachers, they do not simply dictate facts or answers to their students. So they are not giving ready-made answers or definite facts to their students. Instead, they are guiding their students into the right directions, and they encourage them to discover, to explore, and most importantly, to think critically for themselves. And in this whole process, the teacher is going to facilitate this journey, but the journey has to be, the the path of this journey has to be made by the student themselves in this process of self-discovery and inquiry. And if you look at this phrase that they don't tell you what to see, it emphasizes the importance of critical thinking. So best teachers, they challenge their students to analyze information, consider multiple perspectives, and form their own judgments. So this not only helps students develop a deeper understanding of the subject they're dealing with, but also fosters the ability to think critically and in various aspects of life, and not just the subject that they are studying. But this whole practice helps them in critically analyzing the various perspectives in their life. Moving on to one of the most important thinker and a philosopher and a spiritual leader, Swami Vivekananda. He was a renowned Indian spiritual leader and a philosopher, had profound insights on various aspects of life, including education and the teacher-student relationship. So he said that a true teacher is not just a dispenser of knowledge, but also a mentor and a guide. So teacher's role is to inspire and lead the student on the path of self-discovery and spiritual growth. He considered the guru or the teacher as a spiritual guide who helps the student navigate life's challenges. So the teacher here is not just seen as a dispenser of knowledge who's going to just dictate whatever he knows, but also mentors and guide the students and guide them or inspire them to lead to the path of self-discovery and also spiritual growth. Swamiji emphasized the importance of character building in education. He believed that education should not only focus on intellectual development, but also on fostering moral and ethical values. So a teacher's duty is not only to impart information, but also to instill virtues like honesty, compassion, and integrity in their students. So this shows that how a teacher can also facilitate in the character building of a student by not just imparting the so-called knowledge about a particular subject, but also imparting these various values in their students, like that of honesty or compassion and integrity. He advocated for a practical application of knowledge, and he believed that education should equip individuals with the skill and wisdom to make a positive impact on society. And a teacher's guidance should help students apply their learning to real-world situation and contribute to the betterment of the humanity. So the ultimate goal basically, or you can say the primary goal of this whole teacher-student relationship as per Swami Vivekananda ji is that it should lead to the betterment of humanity. So the role of education, if we see, is not just about specific subjects, but also about the practical application of that knowledge that you are acquiring. So the education is basically making these individuals skillful and have wisdom to make a positive impact on the society. And here the role of the teacher is to guide the student and help them in applying that learning of a particular subject or a knowledge as a whole in the real world situation. And in doing that, they would contribute to the betterment of the humanity at large. So he also believed that true education should inspire a sense of selfless service, which is also known as seva, in the students. So a teacher should exemplify the spirit of service and encourage students to use their knowledge and talent for the welfare of the others. So the knowledge is not just for oneself, but according to Swamiji, the knowledge is also how it is helping the others. So using this knowledge and your talent for the welfare of the others as well. And that becomes the again one of the roles of education. So his teachings continue to inspire educators and students to strive for personal growth, spiritual awakening, and betterment of society through this, or you can say through the transformative power of education. And these are some of the instances or some of the important phrases that I have taken from Swami Vivekanandaji's idea on education, where he is trying to show us the role of teacher and a student relationship, which shows that how ultimately the teacher serves as a guide, as a mentor for the students to realize his spiritual goal and also for the betterment of the society as a whole. So with this idea now, let us be more specific and come to our discussion on Guru-Shishya Parampara. So here we would discuss that what is Guru-Shishya Parampara in the Indian traditional knowledge system, what is its significance, and how is it relevant in the present era. So you might have heard this famous verse, which is that Guru bin gyan nahi re, Guru bin जीवन ऐसा होता जैसे प्राण नहीं re. And it encapsulates a profound understanding of the significance of a guru in one's life. So this verse, it shows that how much a guru is important in the life of a shishya, by relating it to how our life would be in the absence of a guru or a teacher. So the verse goes on to draw a powerful analogy between life with a guru and life without one. So it likens life without a guru to a body without the vital life breath, which is the pran. Just as the physical body cannot function without the life force of pran, the spiritual, or you can say the philosophical journey cannot progress without the presence and the teachings of a guru. So if I go back again to this phrase where it is saying that Guru bin gyan nahi re. So without guru you cannot gain knowledge. Just like how they are saying that Guru bin जीवन ऐसा होता जैसे प्राण नहीं रे. So जैसे कि body में आपके प्राण नहीं है या breath नहीं है. So it is equivalent to that stage where your body is living without this vital life breath or the pran. So your spiritual and philosophical journey cannot progress without the presence and without the teaching or the guidance of a guru. So the Guru-Shishya Parampara is a revered tradition in Indian culture that embodies the profound relationship between a teacher, a guru, and a student or a shishya. And this tradition has not only been a mere channel for transmission of knowledge, but has also played a vital role in shaping the moral, spiritual, and intellectual development of individuals throughout the history. So this Guru-Shishya Parampara is not just limited to mere transmission of knowledge. In fact, it plays a greater significance where it is also shaping the moral, spiritual, intellectual development of the individuals. So to understand the Guru-Shishya Parampara, one must first ponder the nature of knowledge itself. So in Indian tradition, knowledge is not seen as a commodity to be transferred, but as a sacred and transformative experience. It is not confined to mere facts and information, but encompasses wisdom, ethics, and a profound understanding of life. So this view of knowledge acknowledges the interdependence of intellectual, moral, as well as spiritual dimensions. So if we look at this Guru-Shishya Parampara, so what becomes important here is to first talk about what is the nature of knowledge, or what is the significance of knowledge. So as per the Indian tradition, knowledge is not seen as a commodity or as an object which can be transferred from one person to the other. In fact, it is seen as a sacred and a transformative experience. So here it's not like a commodity which moves on from the Guru to the Shishya, but it is in a way a transformative experience or a transformative journey altogether. So it's not just confined to mere facts and information. Okay, that wouldn't be considered as knowledge. In fact, it encompasses wisdom, ethics, and also the understanding and meaning of life. So this holistic view of knowledge, it acknowledges the interdependence of intellectual, moral, and the spiritual dimensions together, and they're not seen as in isolation, or it's not just about mere facts or informations. It's in fact even broader, which encompasses wisdom, ethics, and the meaning of life and the spiritual dimensions as well. So if we talk about the etymology of the term Guru, what does the term Guru signifies? And it's a Sanskrit term. So the etymology of the very term Guru is deeply significant in understanding the role and essence of Guru in the Guru-Shishya Parampara. As a word, Guru is composed of two alphabets. Gu means darkness and Ru means dispeller. So Guru is the one who dispels darkness. But what is darkness? Ignorance or avidya is darkness. So if we are saying that Guru is someone, okay, starting from the term or the etymology of the term Guru, it means someone who removes darkness or is a dispeller of the darkness. And then relating it to the idea of knowledge, we would try to understand that if we are trying to say that Guru is someone who removes darkness, but then what is this darkness? What kind of darkness is it? Is it a kind of ignorance, or is it avidya, or is it a physical kind of darkness, like let's say a dark room? Is it that kind of knowledge, or is it that kind of darkness which we have to remove? So what is it actually? So at its core, a Guru is seen as one who dispels darkness, and this imagery goes beyond the physical act of illuminating a dark room. It is a metaphorical representation of the Guru's role in the life of his Shishya or the student. So darkness being referred here to is not physical but rather a symbolic. It symbolizes ignorance or avidya in the spiritual and philosophical context. So ignorance is considered as the root cause of suffering, and that has to be removed, and in that sense the word darkness has been used here in the sense of removing the darkness or removing the ignorance in order to gain the true knowledge. So friends, we are going to stop here and we will continue our lecture and discuss this Guru-Shishya relationship or the Guru-Shishya Parampara in our next lecture. So hope to see you in the next lecture, where we would be discussing the role of a Shishya and also the present relevance of this Guru-Shishya Parampara. Thank you.